Good morning, happy campers, right off the bat. Um, I started off with an old Bible that I just absolutely couldn't bring myself to throw away. So I thought, why not make an angel um, out of, I'm just going to throw it away. And I swear I'm just going to throw it away, but it it just keeps going. I keep finding it every time I go through these cabinets. There it is, there it is, there it is. And I'm always going to throw it away. So this time I decided to go ahead and do something, nice with it. I think my mom will really like it. But it ended up not being an angel. So since this was the first time I did this since church camp, many, many years ago, not actually a camp, it was like a day camp, I guess that's what church camp is. But anyway, we didn't use a Bible to do it at church camp. But anyways, so it ends up being a tree, and it turns out really nice. And I still have what's left of the book. I'm working on. Since it's in segments, I'm going to glue them together so that I have a small angel. So I promise I'm going to make an angel. It probably won't be my next video because I made something in between, but I am going to make an angel. I promise. I promise. I promise. This is more telling myself that than I am you. So I appreciate you very much. Thank you for watching. I hope that you will hit the like and subscribe button, and let's just get right into the angel tree. Okay, so I found this Bible tucked away. Um, it's sticky. It's got something gross on it. It doesn't belong to anyone. There's no writing in it. It looks like a Gideon's Bible, so that probably means that somebody took it from a motel room. But I'm going to make it into an angel. So don't get mad at me. This is just something that was earmarked to be thrown away because everybody has their Bibles. So instead of just throwing it in the garbage, I'm going to make an angel out of it and give it to my mother for Christmas. My mother is very hard to buy for, and she's very religious. So I will make this for her, and that way I've upcycled something that was earmarked for the garbage. Everybody else has their Bibles. I have Christian's Bible that he used upstairs. So if it was his, oh, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. If it was his, there we go. Obviously somebody took it from a motel room. So, it's not a personal study Bible from anyone. So, this is the first time I've done anything like this. So, I do remember that, see, these pages were really bad. I fixed several of them. They're folded over, dog-eared, and whatnot. So, this one doesn't want to fix. There was something sticky in between some of the pages. So I have no idea how it got into my house, but anyways, we're going to take these and we're going to fold them over like a sailboat, kind of, and leave a little bit of a gap here on the edge. Try to keep it straight, and then fold it over. And then you're going to fold it again, doing the same thing, leaving a little bit on the edge. If you don't leave a little bit on the edge, you won't be able to, oh, this piece is sticking out. Here, I didn't get this folded good enough here. If you don't leave a little bit on the edge, you won't be able to open it, or you won't be able to work with it. So, try to keep your point crisp. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, so anyways, mark this down here by folding it, and then open it up and fold it under, right where you creased it. We are going to do that for I think 180 pages is what we're supposed to do. So that's all you're going to do. You're going to bend it over once, leaving that little space there. Creasing it, and then fold it over again. See this little page here? These pages are so thin. You know how a Bible is. So we're wanting that. This centerpiece wants to pop out on me, so I can't tell. Maybe if I do this first. Then fold it over. That wasn't right either. So I held that center part with my finger. So anyways, get your crease in, and then crease it here. See, I'm all dog-eared. Crease it here, and then fold it up under, and then crease it again. And then flatten it, flatten it, flatten it, flatten it. Sorry about moving the camera. I didn't keep going. Fold it here. This is a way to give an old Bible new life. An old Bible that nobody's looking at, nobody's, you know, it's stuffed in a drawer probably for the last 15 years or so. Anyway, keep going, keep folding. I didn't get my tip up here. Put that in there. So your important thing is that you have a tip here. You're leaving a little bit here from the edge. You're creasing it very, very well. And then using this down here to crease, open, fold, and crease. So that's what we're going to do to this whole book. No, to about 190 pages, or 180 pages. I can't remember. I guess I'll know it when I get there. One more time. Fold it. Okay. Fold it again. Making sure you're getting your point up here. This first fold's getting me every time here. It's not wanting to stay where it's supposed to stay. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. It's been a long, long time. Oh, probably because I'm folding on top of each other. I know better than that. Alright, then you open it. Goodness gracious, see what not to do with Harry. Alright, so you fold it once, fold it, open it. There we go. Man, sometimes, I'll tell you. Alright, so you fold it over. Leave that little bit there. Fold it again. Leave that little. I wondered why I was losing my tip. Fold it again. Sheesh. I'll tell you. And open it. Alright, so here we go. Leave that little bit there. Then fold it over again. Trying to keep that little page in there. And this one's already folded. And then you open it. There we go. That's what I was doing wrong. Not opening it. Okay, here we go. You're gonna do a bunch of pages. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm on page 179. I did have a couple extra pages up in the front, like the, I don't know, the index or whatever you call it. So even though I'm at the end of the book, it obviously wasn't here for every page, but since I hadn't done this for so long, I had to remember the hard way, which is called learning, that you need, when you get up here, it needs to be into a point. You know, try to get it as pointy as possible, as thin, I guess, when you fold it, as possible. If not, you end up with these pages sticking up like I have here that didn't get quite as pointy as they should have been. See, this one's pretty far away here, but you see what I mean? A point, and then I'm pretty far away down here, which doesn't really seem to make that big of a difference. And the biggest problem I had with this was this piece right here, folding this under. Sometimes I didn't quite get them good enough, and they were kind of stubborn. But you'll appreciate that gap as you go along. And you know, another thing that I didn't think of is I don't actually have 180 pages because it's 181 here, but it's 182 on the back side, so you would have to cut that in half. So then what we need to, you know, ask ourselves, oops, I got a fold down here, is how big do we want this to be? So I'm going to keep going. Oh, and another thing, if you take the book and you find the center and you start in the center, folding, you know, one side one way, one side the other way. I don't know, because I've never done it that way. But anyways, you would leave the spine on and just have that book setting open, and you would have your tree. You would have a tree in the center. So that's another option. So I'm going to keep going with this, but I wanted to just say that, you know, when you turn your first page here, that doesn't have to be you know, a certain distance there away. It's this fold right here. So you kind of want to pull a little bit here to make that more pointed. And the more pointed it is, the more it looks like a V, the better that the top looks on it. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. Here, make sure that you're folded up really well. Fold it in, and then I always give it a good press, and then when this opens, you can see the pages that didn't come to a point very well. Now, it actually, turn my camera up a little bit, it actually still looks good that way. But you see what I'm talking about? If you took the book and you did it down the center, you would have that book, the Christmas tree would be from one side to another, or whatever kind of tree, holiday tree, Christmas tree, whatever you call it, would be that way. So, and I also wanted to say, even though I said this Bible was earmarked for the garbage, I have never thrown a Bible away in my life. I don't even think that I could. I told myself I was going to, because I didn't need it. But you see what happened here is I found something else to do with it. Now, another thing I want to say, so might as well get them all out. While I'm folding this, you know, since I've lost 2 children, I've had a big issue with God and the Bible and whatnot. I don't openly tell people, hey, you know, I don't believe. I don't openly tell people I think the whole thing is stupid. I don't openly tell people how heartbroken I am. That a God I prayed to every day and never asked anything of would allow my children to die. The older one, when he passed away, was the beginning of the end. But I want to tell you, so his football numbers, he was a big football player, I mean big time, in his town, or his area that he lived in. And his football number is 44. So, I just be off thinking La La Land, you know, while I'm doing this, and I see the number 44. Now, that's not a very hard thing to do, because each page, like every other page, has the number 44 on it, or you know what I mean, the Bible has, you know, where it's marked all the verses and whatnot. And so this number keeps coming up. It just kept coming up, and I thought, okay, so I know 44 is coming up. So I thought, if I focus on another number, it'll come up all the time. So I did. I focused on the number 35. And after I did that, I swear to you, every time I turned my head, 44 was on the page. And I told myself, I can't go looking for that number. Like if I see there's a 43, I know 44 obviously is next, but I can't go looking for it. The same with 35. So following those rules, 44 popped up. It would be right here on this fold, or it'd be right here on this page. So it popped up so many times that it's got me, kind of discombobulated. What the heck? So I'm a person who's twisted up on the inside. I have no home. I feel like, no one knows how I feel. No one alive does. I know there's dead people that do. And, I wouldn't wish this on anyone, but I'm jealous of people who have all their children, who, go to bed every night and say, thank you, God, for watching over my kids, and, yada yada. Well, where was God when I needed that, So that's where I'm at with this. And I just want to tell you that I don't know what it means, but 44 has come up so many times since I've been doing this that, not looking for it. And that number, automatically I already know I'm going to be subconsciously knocked out of my frame of mind every single time that I see the number. So, like for example, here I see 41, so I know 44, if it goes that far, is going to be on the next page. So, but I told myself, see, it's right here, but I told myself I can't go looking for it, so I wasn't looking for it. So just because I seen 43 doesn't mean that I'm counting that one. It just would be here. I'm concentrating on making the Christmas tree, and there it was. And then, I'm thinking about whatever I'm thinking about. Turn the page, there it is. Turn the page, there it is again. So I don't know. I don't know what other people believe. I don't know if you believe in ghosts. I don't know. I talked to a pastor. I said, I see signs for my son all the time. He said, of course you do. And I said, but the Bible says there's no such thing as ghosts. He said, you're absolutely correct. He said, however, God can do anything. So what do you make of that? Let me know in the comments. See, I'm trying. I'm fighting really hard not to cry. Just so tough. Anyway, let me know what you make of it. If you think, what you think of it. I don't know what to say. But anyway, so I'm going to keep going. I'm at 199. I think I need a fuller. I'm probably just going to do most of the Bible here, because I think I need a fuller skirt for my angel. And I don't want to stop too soon and then, have it be done, because I cut it out of the book. So I'm just going to keep going for a while. But let me know in the comments what you think. I am not a religious person. I grew up with religious parents, and boy, my grandmother, she was religious. That's for darn sure. But I feel like I had it knocked out of me. And if for one thing, if you don't know what it's like to lose your children, then I don't like taking advice from those people who say, well, God has a plan. What? God has a plan. Why? For everybody but me? It doesn't make any sense, you know, when you lose children. Those things are hurtful. Those things are very hurtful. So God had a plan for everybody but me. Took my kids away from me. For what reason? You know, there's a reason for everything. Really? So God had a plan for everybody but my child, my children, me. Because knowing if you take my children away from me, my life is over also. Alright, so there's 44. Alright, let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, so I've got it to about, well, 230, which would be cut in half. Would be 115. I think that's going to be fine for our angel. Because I made some mistakes in here and I didn't quite get them folded or placed correctly, and it's making it really hard to keep going. So I learned though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, and I want to make sure that I don't cut my beautiful angel out. So I really want to give her heck here and open it up to the spine and make sure that when I cut, I stay close to the pages here. Now, I couldn't remember exactly what I was doing, so I went to, who is this? Elaine Petrakis, Midnight Crafter, because she has one that's Bookfold Christmas Decor Tree and Angel Dollar Tree DIY, and that's from 2019. So I went to hers just to see how she finished, because it's been so darn long. And I mean, this part's not the hard part. The hard part was making the wings. So I do want to give her credit for showing me. Oh, my knife, I need to change my blade. It's cut through so much stuff. From wood to, I'm just going to go real lightly here while pulling it apart. Try really hard just to cut the spine and not cut the pages, because we could actually make a mini tree out of the rest of the book. I mean, there's a goal for me. Try to make a mini tree. So, like I said, don't cut your work out. Try to just cut the spine where the glue is. And I don't want to cut into the other pages either, because there we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to fold this these. I don't really, so I have a square right here at my very end. You can see, must have been the beginning. Or was it the end? It's the end. I didn't get it pointed enough. I don't have to redo the whole thing. I just repointed it. So anyway, we want to get our last pages. I'm gonna find about the center here. Fold it backwards, and then I guess hot glue in there so that it'll stand up on its own. And this is why I need help. Okay, so my very first page was, oh, remember at the beginning, I messed up by folding the pages together. That's why. So I had this page folded over top of that page. So, yeah, that's why. Get this out of there. Fold that under there. Because I started off wrong, because I couldn't remember what I was doing. Alright, so I'm going to open this up here, and I'm going to take some hot glue down the center there and try to see the spine still on there. Really, really heavy. Do I want to remove the spine or just fold the pages together? Let me just fold the pages together, or glue the pages together at the bottom, at the very base. Let's see. I'm not real big on using hot glue, but I don't want to wait either. So, let's see here. There we go. A little dab will do ya. So they say in a Dippity-Doo commercial. Alright, fold these together. Just pinch them at the base. Yep, the glue came right out that spine. Yep, and it's hot. Imagine that, hot glue. Alright. So, try to open it. And these pages here, that's why, this is why I had to stop. Because, as you can see, these pages, it's not that I wasn't folding them down to what I had access to. It's that I didn't have access to the very top of the page because of all of the folding that I had done prior to this. So these need a little makeover, which will be hard to do because just try to point it, I guess, make it pointy without doing too much else to it. But you see, look at how much I have here that's not in a tree shape. It's because of the spine was there closing, and I've opened up more of the spine, so you shouldn't have to do too much to it. Just flip them open and then refold that top. I was right where I was supposed to be with it. It's just that opening it up made it more noticeable. I don't want to say that. Brought out more of the page than what I had access to. Yeah. If it doesn't make sense, I apologize. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fluff this out really well. And it's not fluffing the way I had hoped. But I'm going to go ahead and glue some pages together and fix these up here a little bit. If I bring this around up here at the top. So I'm going to use some Aleene's Tacky Glue and glue these pages together. And this page and these fixed. So I apologize. It didn't turn out quite the way I had wanted it to, but so I'm going to use some Aleene's Tacky Glue. I know this stuff takes forever to get to the tip. It's my favorite glue. Come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Share some glue. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to start here and just glue these two pages together. I'm not putting a lot of glue in there, just enough to hold it. It don't have to be some big amount. And then I lean down on her side so that all the glue doesn't run back down. So wipe off any excess glue here. And she doesn't take that long to dry either. So, but you can see I'm fixing those pages that they match up pretty well. So I don't want to glue a bunch of pages together, so I'm going to leave this the way it is. I'm going to let those two dry, and then later we'll fluff some more back and see what happens. But we have to bend it at the spine, kind of. So I'll be back after she dries a little bit. Okay, so my angel's not turning into an angel very well, so I think I'm just going to make it a tree. These pages here, the last pages don't want to really conform, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put it onto a canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the canvas off. I'm going to paint it black, because this will really stand out with a black background. Decisions. But anyways, it fits on this canvas. I think this is an 8x10. So I'm going to paint it before I cut it. I'm going to go ahead and paint it black. I thought about green, I thought about red, but I think black. If it doesn't look good with the black, I'll paint over it. I would just use acrylic paint for this. This is the Craftwise chalkboard paint. I believe I got it at the Dollar Tree. I would just use regular acrylic paint, but that's the end of that. I might as well just use it up. So anyway, I'm just going to paint the canvas black. I'm going to do it before I cut it out, before I cut it off, so that way, I mean, it's a lot easier to handle here on its wood. So I'll cut it off of the wood frame and then stain the wood frame in probably Waverly, is that what I have? Waverly Antique Wax. More than likely what I will do. Yeah, these are much easier to paint when they're on the frame. I've seen a lot of crafters, they go ahead and cut it off and then paint it. And I always think, no, leave it on there, paint it first. So it will be cut. I will cut it and put the canvas on the back of the frame. It'll make sense when I show you if it doesn't make sense now. But anyways, all I'm doing is getting, trying to get good coverage on it. Make sure it's good and painted. You're not going to see the sides of it. So, well, I think I got it all. Then just in case you see the streaks, I always make sure the streaks go straight up and down with the canvas. So there we go. Now we wait for this to dry and I'll cut it off of the frame. Okay, here we are. I'm just gonna cut this out here. Remember, be careful when you're drawing a blade towards yourself. You shouldn't do it. But as long as you're not like really bearing down on it, fine. Like, that's the problem. We push real hard and then pull it towards us, and then we hit the end of it and it just keeps going. And we end up cutting our gizzards out. Our gizzards aren't made to be cut out, so don't cut your gizzards out. I don't know how well it cut. I just went around it. Yeah, up here where I let off the pressure because I didn't want to cut my gizzards out. Since I'm leaving the, oops, stuff's falling in on me here. Timber. Since we're leaving our staples, oh, for pity's sake, leaving our staples in on the back, we can take the staples out in the front side. I haven't been to a Dollar Tree in over a month. If you know me, that's crazy. But I have so much stuff already that I just need to use up what I have. I'm just getting rid of this for vanity purposes. You're not going to see the back of my sign. Anyway, I have this scraper that came with a pink tool kit that I got as a company Christmas gift at a place I worked. And it's a pretty good kit. I use it a lot. You don't want to put a lot of damage to the wood. Like, it's already damaged enough. You can see here, I don't know what the heck they did to it. I've never been good at taking these staples out. The last thing I want to do is gouge my fingers, so just get that tip up under there and go a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter handed there. Pop it up enough to get a hold of it. And of course there's two on this side. I already have enough trouble with one. Which are good for getting a hold of them. I just kind of wrap it out of there. Twist it. Of course, you don't want to squeeze real tight with your wire cutters because it'll cut right through them. But okay, so these are damaged, uneven. That one's pretty good. Let's see what I'm dealing with here. So I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper. I'm not sure there's anything I can do to make it look better. It's really bad, this one. Like this wood is up so high on one side. So it's always hit or miss with these canvases. I guess that would be one thing, you know, where this is loaded with glue, so it's not even going to take stain. It's got so much glue on it. I don't know why they use so much glue plus staples, but it's not going to. I'm almost positive it's not going to take stain. Sand it down a little bit. My workbench here. Got my robe on because it's cold. My sleeves get in my way. Alright, so we'll try a little bit of antique wax. Waverly Antique Wax. Okay, so all I'm going to do is check it to see if it's going to take the stain or not. So I'm going to use my equivalent of a baby wipe here. Fold it up. See what happens. I've never done this before. Baby wipe. So if it doesn't look right, which it doesn't, I'm just going to paint it. Yeah, I'll just paint it. So, too bad because the wood color is so pretty, but it's got so much glue on it. Different spots. Yeah. Let me go ahead and finish it off though, that way it's all got the same base color on it. That's a shame because I really wanted this to be antiqued. Have the antique wood look. What a shame. Oh well. Now I gotta decide what color I want. I think probably burnt umber. Let that dry off for a minute. So I painted this with 2 full coats of apple barrel burnt umber, and it took 2 full coats to cover up that glue. So I'll let that dry on my little heater, and then we're going to take the canvas that we painted yesterday. So paint there. Some wet paint that I don't want to share. Anyway, I take this canvas, and cut it right where the right where the fold is. I was thinking I was doing something wrong there. Cut these off. So actually, we want it to be a little bit smaller than that, so I'm going to cut into this one just a little bit. Because we want it to fit on that frame, but we don't want it to show on the side. So I'll cut in on this side a little bit. Not even probably about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8, close to an 1/8, whatever it happens to be. Doesn't have to be exactly precise, but you don't want it to be too small when you're done. So okay, so black, after I looked at it, wasn't 100% thrilled, but I thought about dry brushing the tree with some green, so, and maybe putting a little bit of sparkle on it. So as soon as my frame is dry, we shall put it together. Okay, so 2 coats of burnt umber on here, and then my canvas, and like I said, we want it to be inside, so I'm going to trim this down just a little bit on the side that I did not undercut. Just a little bit, and so it is from top to bottom. It's pretty good. We just don't want it to be sticking out on either side, top or bottom. Here, now you can use hot glue, you can use staples, you can use whatever you think is going to work out the best. You can use both. Since my canvas kind of wants to be, what do you call that, concave, I'm going to use staples, I think. I used to have this nice little staple gun, but my husband said in order to work with wood, I needed to have a gun that shoots brad nails, which is fine, but for this I don't need this great big industrial strength, heavy duty gun. But anyways, that's what I have, so I can choose. It's what it is. So just make sure that you're, inside, and turn it on. Gotta turn it on first. There we go. It's turned on now. Alright. And just like that. I can never get them in good enough. What in the world am I doing wrong? Somebody tell me. They don't go in very well. That was the dog. He scared himself. And his toy pig went off. I must have scared him, and then he jumped. He's scared. I'm scaring him. It's okay, Leo. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't even jump that much when I run my saw. It's, you know, it's really hard because we can't explain to our animals what, you know, what we're doing. I didn't get it pulled very tight, I will say. I got a ruffle in it. Yep, sure do. And that's what sucks about live action video. Okay, I got it pretty good. So now we have to fit the tree in, and I knew it was going to overhang a little bit. So I'm going to pull it down to the bottom. I'll center it a little bit. It's going to hang over a little bit on the edge, just fine. We just kind of want to even it out. Even it out. My camera jumped evidently when I was stapling. Anyway, my big boy's down here. You see him? He's scared. I scared him with that staple gun. I don't blame him. Scary for an animal. Okay, so now I'm just going to hot glue. Try to remember. I think it's better to put it on the tree than it is to put it on the canvas. So I'm just going to start putting some glue down here. Doesn't have to be like a whole bunch, which is good because I just have the small glue gun. So pull it down here. Try to make it even on both sides. And push it down. Now, this probably won't stand up on its own, but it'll look good leaned and it'll look good hanging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush some green onto it, and I'll be back. Okay, so I decided that I like it the way it is. So what I'm going to do is, I've got this large square piece of wood, block, cube, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to paint it. I got it from Wish, of all places. Got it from Wish. So I'm going to, I've got all my parchment paper, if I could think of the damn word, here and there and everywhere. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and paint this in burnt umber. Brush here. I have water down here, and you know, I change it often, but it gets, you know how it is, if it sets too long it gets slimy. But the problem is that I get, it seems like there's only one gnat, and there's always one gnat here. Anyways, I'm just painting this the same color as my frame, and I'm going to use this like the trunk of the tree there. You probably won't even see it, but it'll make it so that our tree can stand up on its own, and it'll look really good on a mantle or wherever, and you can decorate it any way you want. You can put a star on top, which I'm going to dig out. I got those packs of wood that they had at the Dollar Tree. I didn't need to paint all 4 sides, but I did. All 4 sides. How many sides is on a cube? There's 6 sides. But anyways, I didn't need to paint them all. It's going to be glued up against that. But anyway, one of those, I bought one of those, 2 actually, those wood piece kits from the Dollar Tree. It came with stars and hearts and all different shapes, and I probably have a star in it here. I don't have the tag that came with it, but one of these packs. It's got little clothespins in it, little shards of wood. I mostly picked out all the stars and this one. But I have another kit that probably, oh, there's a star. So here's a star. And then decide, which color you want that star to be. And while our wood block dries, we'll put that right on the frame. You know what? That natural color looks really good. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave that natural. And I'm just going to glue that right there to that frame. Just like that. And just like that, we have this cute Christmas tree that when we're done, it's going to be able to stand up on its own. Let's bring it up a little bit here. It's either too far or not enough. Alright, now the camera is not that great. So, hopefully somebody takes my hint and gets me one for Christmas. My birthday's coming up too. That'd be great if I got some new camera equipment, but I won't. It won't happen. Alright, so I'm going to take the cube and I'm going to find the center of my tree here. That's all I'm going to do. Just part it where I think the middle is. Close enough. It don't have to be perfect. And I'm going to glue it so it's even with the bottom of the frame. Flat there. And that will let our tree stand up on its own. I put too much glue on there. Ouch, that's hot. So yeah, make sure you get that glue off the bottom of that. So yeah, that was kind of hard to do upside down, but I wanted to, and then I didn't even have the camera up. So anyways, here it is. Fluff out our tree, and we have a standing Christmas tree. I know I kind of bumbled around a little bit here to get to this point, but doesn't it look really nice? I love it. I think it's great. Anyways, if you've made it through here, you're just a blessing. Thank you so much.